Hey, Chris.
Adil.
What? You said that you should have let me see if I could notice, and I don't notice. You have a haircut, you said.
Fine. I don't do it for you.
Don't you? I think I see you the most. Yeah, I don't see you the most. You're right.
You
I see
absolutely don't see
I
it.
see you the most through this one webcam, you know.
Which we might change when if I bring all my gear to Italy next week, which I think I will because maybe something cool will happen.
Yeah, that's
And
a good
man,
idea.
I just have so many accommodations booked that are like along the sea, like overlooking like fucking awesome views.
Cool.
So I'll be traveling for like 11 days.
Can you walk us through your trip? First with a geography map
Yeah.
of where in Italy you're going?
So as we all know, Italy is a peninsula and it's shaped like a boot.
Yep.
That might be news to you because you still don't have that globe.
Don't have that globe, but
So
I've been
Italy
to
is a
Italy. I've only been to like Rome, but
yeah, yeah. You've been to Italy, like Germany is Berlin. Okay.
exactly.
Um, so Italy is a peninsula, which means it's a piece of land that juts out into the water, and that peninsula looks like a boot.
Is it kicking
So
the island of like Crete or something like that? Is that the island?
kicking the island of Sicily.
Oh, I was so off, close, right around there.
You have no
Sicily,
idea.
God.
Shit's just leaking out of your face, and it's just making you sound dumber, honestly.
I mean, I had to make a
But
guess. Sicily didn't come to mind, but yes, it's kicking Sicily. I knew it was kicking an
never it's never hindered your level of success to this point, so
island.
why stop?
Keep failing. That's the solution. Don't be scared to just throw out an answer. Okay, wait. This is okay. This is a side. This is a side story. Do you know the game HQ back in the day? Do you remember that game? Ever you played it?
HQ.
It was like
No.
a trivia game where it came on your phone daily at like 7 o'clock, and all your friends joined, and there was 10 question
Oh,
trivia, and you try to survive to the end. Um, and sometimes, okay, so a few of my friends were in the same room together, right? And of course, the first three questions are fairly easy. You'll get through them, right? But as soon as you get one wrong, you're eliminated, right? Um, and sometimes you get to like question four, and you're looking to your friends for somebody to say it, so you could click A, B, C, or D, right? Um, and then like by question six or so, or seven, they got really technical and difficult, where all of us are like, "Fuck, I don't know the answer," right? But then me, I'm just gonna say out loud what the answer I think it is. But then a few of my friends got really pissed off at me because they're like, dude, you said the wrong answer. Fuck, I wasn't gonna pick that. Why do you sounding confident? Like you're an asshole, right? And I think I didn't realize that about myself that I am common to just shut out the wrong answer because any answer is better than no answer is my mindset.
it's
But
absolutely untrue, number one. Absolutely.
I'm learning to grow, okay? Maybe not. I'm learning from it.
Have you heard the quote? It's like better to stay silent than open your mouth and remove all doubt or whatever.
I
Or
have, but have not practiced it.
it's better to stay silent and be thought an idiot than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Ooh, that's good. That's really good.
So, anyway, it's an interesting story. Did I already tell you this? Maybe I didn't. Anyway, we'll tell our 10 listeners. So, I'm going with a buddy of mine from Dusseldorf who I met on the train before I even moved here because the train was running late and they were only announcing like the reasons and the times in German. So me and my boss at the time were just asking this random guy that was sitting across from us, like, "Hey, what are they saying? Like, we're about to miss our fucking flight, blah blah blah." But then we ended up hitting it off, obviously, because he heard like our accents or whatever. And it turned out that he was actually going to visit Calgary and Canada like in a month later. And so he had rented an RV from Vancouver, drove it across the Rockies, and gives it back in Calgary, and then flies back to Germany. So I ended up showing him around like ever, took him on our rooftop, like we had a couple drinks. So that was before like I even moved to Germany, but he lives in Dusseldorf. So when I moved here, we're like friends now. Anyway, he is a director at a one of the grocery chains here, and I just really like the way he thinks. He before he joined this, he wrote a book, and before that, he was a buyer. So he's a supply chain guy. He was a buyer for Hugo Boss, so he like found
Ooh, so cool. Okay.
clothes and stuff, and like, oh yeah, like this fits the Boss brand. We want to, buy your stuff, label it Hugo Boss. But now he just buys groceries, like because supply chain, right? But he has like quite a fair amount of buying power. So he's like, "Hey, Chris, do you want to go to Italy? I got to go to Italy for work. Why don't you just join me afterwards, and we can like bum around, go on a road trip or whatever." And because like I like the way that he thinks, I like the way that he like solves problems. He's like a pretty forward-thinking guy. I was just like, and then I'm in the mood of like, hey, if you don't ask, you don't get. I'm like, well, can I just come with you on your trip?
Cool. Yep. Totally.
So he's like, yeah, let me ask like the SVP or whatever. And so I'm just gonna go pretend I work at that supermarket chain and go to chat with farmers, get like wine and dines, try because like they're trying to win contracts from us, right? So they're gonna take us around, show us how good their produce is and shit like that. And then like the benefit is like I get to watch my friend work and like see how he solves problems. So it's like this
Oh,
midlife crisis job shadowing. It's fucking awesome,
love it.
actually.
Midlife crisis job
Yeah.
shadowing is awesome. I did that with Jack in Vietnam, and that was great. It was
Oh
great.
yeah. So you know
No,
exactly.
I know
So
exactly what you're gonna do, and it's great. You should do it, and you just gotta pretend
yeah,
like you belong. That's it. It's fine, and you
yeah.
will.
So we're
It's
gonna
easy.
do like and like I can hold my own, right? Like I'm a manager just in a completely different industry. So it's also cool to see like grocery here, like it's super competitive because it's there's like six or seven main chains and like margins are slim. It's like a completely different business, right? And it's almost like, oh, if your strawberries don't look red and juicy enough, they just all rot because you didn't sell enough. So like you also have to like forecast your supply and demand to like an incredibly specific number, which also I think is cool. Like it's just so different than what I'm used to doing business in. Like it's more brick and mortar than even the stuff we do, right? Which is like power generation and entertainment. Like a grocery store is like the brick and mortar thing.
Yep,
So
very brick and mortar. Cool.
yeah, so
No,
it'd
that
be
sounds like
cool
fun.
to see how I'm at, what are you thinking about? How do you tell if fruit are good? How do you can tell if a farmer is good?
Now,
Like I don't know.
did you? Sorry, I might have missed this, but where in Italy you guys gonna drive from Germany? You're gonna go all? How far are you gonna go down to? Is the first question.
So Italy's a peninsula, and no, you can't drive from Germany to Italy. That would take 3 days just on its own. We're gonna fly there.
Okay, you're gonna fly into Rome.
Get
You're gonna
this
fly
guy a
in
map. No, let me
Venice.
finish my
Oh
story.
man,
You
I'm
know, there's
guessing. So I
more
like
than
that.
one airport in Italy, right? Like
I
people
assume
don't
so.
just all go to Rome.
I can keep naming cities. I just don't. Wait.
Can you?
Fuck. Amalfi Coast. Are you going to go to Venice? Are you going to go to? Fuck. You're an asshole. Nice.
Bluff,
Keep going.
bluff called, bluff called. So to be honest, it's a city I hadn't heard of either. It's called Bari, like Bari.
Okay.
So the boot is pointing west, right?
I got
So
that. Yep.
it's on the so Barry or Bari, I don't know what it's called.
Yep.
It's like the calf muscle of the boot. So on the east side facing Greece.
I got it. I got it. Thank you. Yeah. Perfect.
Uh, so we're gonna fly there and then spend a few days on the calf side of the boot, drive down to the heel, and then the work trip kind of ends, and then we're just gonna cut across the foot area, and then actually spend like a week in Sicily. Like so, it should be cool.
Cool. No, sounds great. No, I think this is okay. First of all, job shadowing in your midlife crisis years is the best thing you should do. Do it. Please do it. People do it. Find your friends on their work trips and just ask if you can come along. Great idea.
Yep, it's like I'll just shut up. I'll take the meeting minutes. I don't care. Like,
Of
I'll
course.
I'll contribute.
Yeah, you should.
And if maybe someone wants my opinion, I'll give it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key is to not stick your foot in your mouth, but at the same time, you don't know enough, and you should just try and ask a smart question. I think you'll come up with one smart question per place you go to, and it's fun to learn it. To be honest,
I'm definitely not worried about that.
I think it's great. I've had a good week, man. I feel pretty happy today. I feel motivated. I feel like things were productive. I think the fact that summer's ending is actually making me motivated, and I think it's the weather actually. It's totally tied to the weather. I've survived the whole summer without AC or a fan actually, which is surprising. Um, in my southern facing house, and it's been hot, and I think that's the reason why I've been like more less motivated to like be go go go. So we finally got a
Has
touch of
anyone been in
fall.
there? Has anyone been in there to smell your house though, or do you just think you're fine?
Um, Yeah, I think so. I think I've had some visitors come over. Nobody's made any outrageous comments. I wear deodorant occasionally. I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
Yeah, man. Um, have you ever had to tell someone that they were smelly? That's a
Um,
tough conversation, man.
I don't have a very good nose. I don't think that happens. I'm the person that tells you if you have stuff in your teeth. I don't know if you've ever got that from me or not, but I am a person who says, "Hey, you have stuff in your teeth." I will totally try to tell people.
I think people appreciate that on the whole. But
Yeah.
there's like a spectrum of like hard things to tell people,
Okay, you know what? One of our good friends, tutor, actually told me once something that changed my life in a small way, but it mattered. Something on that note. And I think when I
Mm.
was in my late teens, early 20s, I used to have like a perspiration problem. And I didn't know why. Um, and it was substantially bad. And I didn't understand how to fix it, to be honest. And he gave me one tip that just was the solution. Yeah.
What was it?
His was there's like a medicated thing you can get off the counter in a pharmacy that's just like it has a high aluminum oxide in it. I think that's what it is in deodorant, right? And
Yeah,
it's like a medicated version that's probably like 4 times stronger, and that will stop your perspiration. And I think like my pits used to be bad, and I think it was interesting that I think it was actually tied to anxiety a bit, weather conditions, of course, as well, but also physical health. Actually, I think that's what actually fixed my problem more so is actually physical health. You know, um, being more being more healthy actually solved my problem more so than actually, but it was a good short term fix that actually
got
solved the
it.
problem immediately. And I think that,
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know. And it's just something I was glad he told me once. He just told me, like, hey, do you have this problem? Because I know somebody who had that problem, and here's the solution. You know?
It's actually like a very generous and kind thing to do.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, here's the two. Got a guy at my work, and he just smells bad.
I get it.
Here's how avoidant I am of that conversation. I think I might rather just fire him.
That's terrible. You're a terrible manager. Come on, just tell him.
He's
Would it
also
be
not a very
easier?
good worker.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe it goes hand in hand.
Like, why? And then, um, okay, so that's like, okay, like, I think if stuff in your teeth is like pretty low on the scale, right?
Yep.
Then it's like, okay, body odor is
I think
higher, right? It's a tougher
body
one.
body odor is higher, and like perspiration is not as bad, but that's it's in the middle between the two for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay,
Uh,
what's worse than body odor?
okay, where would you rank this one? Because I also have this one at work. Uh, super weak handshake from a man.
That's below that's below body odor
Is it?
and perspiration. Yeah, totally. I mean,
I
it's
don't know.
fixable. You just have to tell. Okay, what? It's so fixable. Isn't it fixable?
I'm like, dude, shaking your hand is like grabbing a latex glove full of warm water, man.
A latex glove for warm water. Oh God, that's good. That's almost funny enough. I like that.
Buddy, you laughed out loud.
I know, but
But
I think it could be better. There's refinement there. That's great. I like it. You're on the right track with that joke, by the way. Yeah, I don't think that's worse. It could be worse. Um,
I think it's a tougher one because like the handshake one is like it's in your control. You can be like, okay, I have like body odor, that's not my fault, but it's like someone just never taught you how to like shake someone's hand, you know? And then it's like a little bit embarrassing and cringe for you because then you've gone 20 years in your career and like not one person gave you like that courtesy call to be like, hey, you need to like squeeze when contact is made.
I mean, this is just a common thing. I think that a lot of
It's
people.
not that common.
I mean, it's a common
It's
thing that people miss things in their growing up, and they miss certain small, tiny lessons in it. It's things that
okay, what am I
90% of us
missing?
know.
What are you afraid to tell me, Adil?
Oh, you want me to
What
go
am I
down the
missing right
list?
now? Like my face is too greasy, my fucking
What would my only thing be? Huh. I think I
oh
said
so
it when
you
we were younger years. I think you used to be more heartless. Uh, in
I just hide it better now.
Yeah, exactly. You hide it better. And no, I think it was mostly with your words. You know what? I had to learn that you're not heartless inside, but some of your words can be really stinging and very cold, and it's because it's part of your personality. And I think um, in our younger years, when people have lower levels of anxiety and get to know people, I think that can become off as really really crass, really harsh, or and I think it comes off as heartless to say them. Um, but I don't. I think you hide it better now, or you're less so, or you're fine. I don't know. I don't think that's a thing
I
anymore.
think I think I am better now. Like I don't think I'm hiding anything. Like you are getting like an authentic version of me. I was definitely like way worse when I was younger for like various reasons that I have now sought therapy for.
No, I don't think there's anything substantial. Um,
I know that was a trick question. I wasn't actually sure how you're going to respond to that.
yeah,
So
no, no.
anyway, if this limp handshake guy was more of a back office guy, I wouldn't care. But the fact is like from time to time he sees clients and then I'm just like, well, is he besmirching our good name? Like is this negative EV marketing? Because like other people will notice it too, right?
That's funny.
And like as a man,
Uh,
I don't know. Maybe it's sexist, but like I mean I would say like one in two chicks have bad handshakes, but like no one cares about that, right? They're meant to have like dainty, frail hands that are soft. And like no one expects like a woman to have a strong handshake. But if you're like a man that weighs like 100 kilos because you're like overweight, your handshake shouldn't feel like you weigh 40 kilos.
I get it. I totally get it. Trying to think of other
Okay, and
things
then
like that. You got another one? You got another one? Tell me the
yeah, I
other
got
one.
one more, man. I've
Okay.
had a dude, I've had a fucking crazy week also. But it's been like so intellectually stimulating, which is why I was like, dude, we gotta do a pod. Like there's so much going on in here right now. The hamster is just fucking the wheel is high RPMs right now.
Do it. Do it.
And okay, last one. Germany, 20 to 30 years behind socially, I would say. Right? I've said it before. Um, so like toxic masculinity is a thing.
Got it.
Like when people send their resumes in, they still put like their birthday and like have a photo of themselves on it, you know, which like
Sounds like
does
Japan.
not
Sounds
apply.
good. Keep going. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, I was like chirping some guy because he was pissing me off, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, you literally exhibit all the signs of a fucking alcoholic that's about to like fall off the edge." Because like also like the drinking is so insane here too, right? Like it's 2x worse than Canada for sure, and
Oh
like
yeah.
coming from a guy that I drink a fair amount, and like lots of people here are like me, with the problems though, like the
Okay. Yeah.
unchecked therapy and like losing the wars and stuff like that. It gets to you. And anyway, um, like this week they text me and they're like, as you had correctly identified, I checked myself into AA. I
Damn.
was like, oh, I didn't mean that to like. Now it just feels sad though, right? It's like, well, I didn't. I was just roasting you, but like now that it's like a real thing, like I didn't mean to like kick you when you're down, kind of thing, right?
Now it's
But
a disease. Yeah. I've had
so
one buddy go off the deep end with alcohol. Um, and I never you never would have figured it. You don't figure, you just in my younger years I used to think, well, wow, this person's a tank. They just can drink a lot. But you don't think to yourself, wow, this person's an alcoholic. Like, and I just think
wow,
that the hard thing about, okay, one of the key reasons you're an alcoholic is I think one of the key indicators is drinking alone is one, but
oh yeah.
excessively alone. See, it's one thing to drink alone. That's okay. I have a whiskey alone, maybe two, sometimes three. But I
Like,
think
does this count as a loan? Because I'm
no,
technically with
you're
you.
technically with me. I think that doesn't count as a
Also,
loan.
off the wagon, by the way. 25
I
days. We're
you did
calling it good.
you did tell me you were coming from the bar. I was like,
Yeah,
I
I
was
forgot
like,
about.
it didn't make it. Like, I was
It's
gonna
a
ask
long
you.
week, man.
I get it. I get it. But I think what I didn't realize was, okay, I think that's one indicator of is drinking alone, but excessively. Okay, have you ever had 10 drinks alone by
No,
yourself? Okay, have you ever had 6 drinks alone? Like 3 drinks alone?
no,
5 drinks? Okay,
no.
you've never had 3 drinks alone? Never 3 glasses of wine by yourself?
Rarely. I would say rarely. Under 5 times for sure. I'm a social drinker.
So me too. And I think under 5 times for 5 drinks alone. That's way. I don't know. I can't even remember the last time. Three maybe.
I've definitely never had five. I might have had three wines
Yeah,
on like a particularly bad day, but like
yeah.
usually not even.
So I think that's one thing I didn't know with my buddy. I didn't realize maybe we'd be going out for drinks after work or whatever, and we'd have maybe one, two, three, or four, whatever, and then I didn't realize that person's having 6 more at home by themselves, right? And they're getting to 10 or 12 or whatever, and it's just like that's crazy to me.
I just
And
think it's funny. I think it's funny like when you said like in childhood, I just thought he was a tank. And it's
so
like, yeah, turns out like a tank is a fucking alcoholic.
exactly. We named it happily. We're like, oh wow, this person's great. Oh man, you're talking about Germany. So I used to have a German site superintendent who I used to work with closely a lot, in the office and sometimes in the field. And yeah, that guy could he just drinks 10 beers in a night. It's just normal for him every night,
Yeah.
and it's insane to me. It's insanity that he's drinking so much. But
And then like you have like there's like dad bod, where like you're just like overweight because maybe you eat too much butter or something, right? And you don't run. But there's like people here that have like literally like the unhealthy beer gut. You know like the difference between like beer gut and dad bod, where like dad bod's kind of like round and you're just kind of like chunky and like flabby. Then there's like the beer gut where it's more square and you can kind of tell like it's hard and like it's just like it's like a different texture of fatness and you're just like this person is going to get liver disease, and then like the personality like matches the fact that they have a beer gut.
damn. You know what? I have not
Yeah,
analyzed guts to know, but I take your word for it. I'll look out for the boxy gut from now on, you know, and
boxy gut, yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
interesting. So wait, what
it's
is
like, oh
have you explored this? Have you explored what AA is like? Have you explored like what I found when I found out my friend, had a problem was he was in the hospital. So, I got and I when I went to go visit
yeah, I
him.
got friends in AA and they tell me about it, but it's basically like, yeah, it's just like some mixture of like group therapy. It's a little bit culty, religious like,
Totally.
and it's sort of like, and then it's like a support group. So it's like those three things kind of like merge together, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know how it works. My AA friends assure me that I'm not an alcoholic, which I also now know because they see like the worst of it. They're like, dude, you're not even drinking alone. You're not drinking to like run away from something or like when you're triggered or like to deal with stress. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No. I remember our younger years of going to BSD, and I think that's one moment of excessive drinking that I recall. One because I know one friend who got their stomach pumped after BSD, like ended up in the hospital getting their stomach pumped. Um, but I also remember myself not handling my liquor that well at several BSDs, but one in particular, I remember getting kicked out of BST and then attempting to sneak back in and then getting kicked out again. So I don't really remember that, and that's because I was too drunk. But that's probably the most excessive I got to. Um,
Mm. That's not bad though. I think we also remember it a different way because I think when you're that young, you also just like your risk mitigation and regulation skills just aren't that good. I can safely say I have partied harder than whatever BSD is dozens of times. Like bunch of kids wearing Hawaiian shirts, drinking light beer is like cool.
yeah, I remember lots of vodka prior to going to BSD, and I think that was the problem, to be honest. But yeah, I think,
Do you
yeah,
think vodka is the alcoholic's spirit of choice?
ooh,
Because I think it's
maybe.
the closest thing to pure ethanol.
hmm I have not had vodka in a while.
No,
Yeah,
I hate vodka. Fuck.
yeah.
Except in Caesars, I guess.
I think I don't know. I think in general, Canadian culture is a little liquor centric, and I think Calgary culture is somewhat liquor centric, and it's going away. But definitely,
Say
our youthfulness was
Germany is
double.
Germany's got that destroyed.
Yeah,
Destroyed.
I mean, wait, your biggest festival is that the world knows is a drinking festival. I mean,
Oktoberfest?
yeah,
Yeah. But that's just like one of them in one city. Like, man, there's something going on every day in every city, every weekend.
I mean,
Like,
yeah. I mean, that's what Germany's known for, Oktoberfest and drinking. So I assume there's drinking all the
there's
rest of
also
the year
like
too, right?
soccer culture is insane. Like,
There's all the Christmas drinking cultures there too. Like you guys have festivals and drinking culture all over the place. I've seen it. I've gotten to experience pieces of it. Yeah, that's interesting. There's a lot of alcoholics there. I can imagine, and a lot of tanks. I get it, but
yeah. But it's still closeted. I think there's probably like a lot of alcoholics where it's like destroying their lives and they have to like hide it or like the battered wives just like take the abuse and stay there
so do you
because they're
see the
so
same
conservative.
trajectory of of it changing though slightly? Like Germany's
No,
changing, like Canada's changing a little bit.
no.
No, really. So staying stagnant. Interesting.
But I've only been here a year, so what do I know about that? I truly don't know anything about that.
Man, that's interesting. It reminds me of Japan, to be honest, because Japan has that kind of drinking culture too.
Yeah.
They have coworker
Uh,
drinking culture, right?
the two cultures are actually quite similar. I would say Japan is just Germany 20 years in the future, right? Like it's Japan's super old. They're super like xenophobic. They have like,
What? I
you
thought
know,
but doesn't Germany have a boatload of immigrants now? Like, isn't there a lot of
yeah, they
people
still
that
hate them all.
I assume they hate them somewhat, but isn't it? Aren't they just forced to assimilate? Aren't they
I'm
just
probably
forced to
I'm
become a
probably
progressive?
I'm probably supporting two low-income German families with just my taxes, and one and two of them don't even want me here. So
I assume so, but I assume they have to change. They're just forced to. Weird. I assume Japan doesn't have the immigration at all, where Germany does. Like, there's been tons of wars south of them, and they just come over
I
by
think people
boat or
immigrate
walk.
here and then they're like, "Ugh, fuck this shit," and then they leave.
I mean, I think they're all trying to make it to the what Nordic countries where the like promised land is. Is that the promise? I think that's the promised land.
They're not all EU though, right? I don't think You can't just get your EU. I don't know which one of the Nordic countries are EU, but I don't think they all are. I
I thought Sweden, Norway, and the other one,
think so.
Sweden, Finland, are all EU, are they? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I'd have to double check.
Interesting. Never been up that way either.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know what. Something had a good week. For me, I've been hustling hard on my website project, which finally
Yeah.
just had honestly by necessity. This week, out of necessity, I had to work hard at it because I got bot attacked and my server bills were too high because of the bot attacking and the fact that traffic has tripled. So I just have to because my runway on budget is now less because I have too much traffic now, which is a
Have you
good
figured a
problem to
way
have.
to
But yeah.
monetize it yet or no?
You know what? I finally came up with a North Star plan and a kind of a plan on what to do over the next 6 to 12 months.
Okay.
And I don't,
Um,
it's not perfectly ideated out, but I know there's these monetization paths. And the good thing is one of my quasi competitors showed a path. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, they're making money. Great. Somebody's making money. You're making money easily. Wow. Why can't I just do what you're doing? And I'm bigger than you already. So what the fuck?
I
So,
would be interested in a collaboration with you because we're kind of both like gambling adjacent, but we need to do something soon because mine's seasonal. So like football's over already because the season started 3 days ago. But hockey, we have another month of selling, so we should try something pretty
yeah,
soon.
I mean, I think it's sort of it's slightly small ball, but it's a good test for me. Because the reason why I think it's slightly small ball is 'cause here's my calc. So the website, which is Polymark Analytics, gets 50,000 unique visitors a month right now. Okay,
That's bigger ball than my site.
so I get that, but 3 to 4% of those are Canadian, right?
Uh,
So the problem is like, um, I can't like you don't have a US thing to sell, right? But if
no, we
you
can sell to the US though. We
oh well,
sell to the US
well, then perfect. Then if you do sell to the
because
US,
we just
then well, then the traffic
and
is
we're
way more. Perfect.
and we're 40% off for them. Like they just buy, we just ship to the US. They
Perfect.
buy our product in Canadian
Or
dollars. So
digitally, or digitally, right?
yep. Yep.
Oh, that's
Yep.
perfect then. Let's bullshit some math here for our listeners.
It'd be
How
easy, man. I have 10 years of sales data. I would very easily be able to tell you what like your bump was. Like
perfect,
because we're pretty steady.
perfect. And then, but the best time would have been football, right? Which would have been like a month and a half ago.
Yes, but actually football's tapering off because I think we're losing market share to like FanDuel and all that shit. But
Fuck.
like actually our hockey is going up
Interesting.
over the last couple of
Yeah, so
years.
I'm just gonna bullshit some numbers here. I'm just pretend in my mind. 50,000
Okay.
uniques. Probably 30% of those are American, I believe. Maybe it's 40%. 30 to 40% plus the Canadian. So it's like, let's say 40%. So 40% of that is 20,000 people, right? And that's unique, so they come multiple times, right? So on average, people are coming 10 times in the month, right? So they'll actually get served the ad 10 times. Right? Let's say it's really prominent or it's in their face. Um, how many clicks does that result in? So my bullshit guess is 0.01% all the way up to 1%. So that results in some that's somewhere between 2 clicks and 200 clicks. Is that right? Is it possible it could be 5%? I doubt it. I think it might be 2%, possibly. So it's somewhere between 2 clicks and 400 clicks from the same user because they get served the ad up to 10 times. Um, so how many people convert? Let's say
So
of
I know my
100
I know
people.
my conversion rates. My
Tell me.
conversion rate is about 9%.
Cool. So 100 click-throughs
I should
become
sell
10
like
sales.
I should sell between 2 and 20 more than my baseline sales.
What is that worth in dollars in profit then?
If I sell 2, I might not be able to see it because that might be
I know.
in my
Yeah, yeah,
noise.
yeah.
If I sell 20, and actually, you know what? Actually, no, I can track referring domains,
Perfect.
so it wouldn't be that hard.
Perfect.
Um, but
Referring
20,
domains with a
like our
sale
average,
too. Referring domains with a sale.
I think you can see their click funnel, right? Like
Perfect.
you can see them
Wait,
go
are you
on
Shopify?
landing to, yeah,
Ah, you definitely have it. Definitely have it. Yep.
yeah, I know. um, Sometimes I say I think just to sound less douchey.
I like it.
When I say I know, but I say I think. You learn that as a smart kid in the class to not always put your hand up. You just say I think. Um, so, but like I mean, yeah, if we do 20 sales, average order is like $80, $90. You're probably looking at a couple grand in
Cool.
value.
But that's
Um,
but that's on revenue. What's on profit?
my margins are pretty good. I have like 50% margins, so I'll make a
Cool.
thousand bucks.
Interesting. Well, that's good to know. It's good to know for me that monetizing a traffic over a month. Would you run the ad for a month or longer? Like when's the
Well,
most effective time?
I also would have run it through football, which is still bigger than hockey for us.
Totally.
Um,
That's interesting. I mean, you know
so,
what? You know what? My intuition then is like, okay, so this is just a dumb path
but
in
we're
this
a tiny
monetization.
site though. We're also a tiny site.
So, I mean, what I'm realizing though is the right answer is to have 10 advertisers and they're all, getting $500 of value, of the same traffic. Because,
Is that
somebody
too
getting,
small ball though?
it is,
Feels small.
it is small. So but that's just one route to sustainability. And I mean, 500 times 10 is 5 grand. The nice thing about like okay, getting somewhere between 2 and 3 grand here on advertising revenue would be awesome for me because now all of a sudden I'm sustainable and I live for the next 10 years, which is what I want. Because I just want to live for 10 years because I think this
You need
market just grows
3K.
grows way bigger than you think.
You
But
need
now
3K a month. Is that what you need?
that's
3K a
what
month.
that's what I think I need. Yes,
Okay.
3K a month at the current numbers. Maybe even two would be okay. I got to optimize some things. I think I can even
But
make
you know
even
what, man?
1,500 be okay
Um,
actually.
are your servers are hosted by someone else, right? They're third party.
Yes. Yes, and that's painful, I
So
know.
yes. I was just listening to a podcast today. I mean, dude, if you look at Microsoft's Azure cloud margins, they're like 70%. So like at some point, I think you're close to it. You're better off just hosting your own stuff
You got it.
with your own
Perfect.
hardware. Like
Not
pay.
not your own hardware actually. This is the wrong answer. You can spin up. Okay, so wait. There's a few choices. You're right. There's at a certain point you host your own servers. Chris, almost never you go to that point. Like even Levels doesn't do that. Um,
Okay.
you just spin up a VPS, like a virtual private server in the cloud, but you spin it up yourself. But the disadvantage of it is you don't get edge compute and all the extra features you don't get. And you have to manage that with code. And
Yeah.
the
Okay.
problem the problem with that is like
But
I got
buddy, if you're
I got
paying,
bot attacked this week, and getting bot attacked costed me a
yeah, yeah,
thousand
for sure,
dollars.
for sure.
So like
But
not
if
being
you,
able to like kill the bots with a few levers because you got to do it with code
yeah,
is harder.
I'm just saying those guys' margins are like 60 to 70%. So if you're paying 3K, you're getting 1K of value. That's all I'm saying.
You got it. You got it. So for my 3K, which was mostly because I got bot attacked this week, which costed me a grand or so. I yeah. Um, what I was gonna say was there's multiple layers. Like I use Google Cloud, which is a bill, and then Vercel. I don't know if you ever heard of Vercel, but so Google Cloud's like Azure or like AWS, but for database stuff is what I'm using it for. Um, for for Vercel's like front end hosting, but it's really optimized for MVPs. It's one of the best things devs should use when they're launching apps, but it does not scale well. They burn you on pricing because they're just hosted on top of AWS, and that's 100% or 200% margin on top. But I gotta say, like the ability to like kill bots is wicked fast because I just have to like turn some knobs. If that makes any sense. And sometimes the savings
But
there, MVP matters, right?
yeah,
Especially when you're building quick and you're trying to like iterate. And we're still in iteration phase, so I don't think I'm ready to optimize yet. But I got a plan actually. So that's one route. I'll give you another route for monetization. I got an offer this week for somebody paying me a grand a month just for an API to my data, and that could scale too. So a grand a month for a 12-month contract. If I build up
isn't
an
that a
external
no-brainer?
API, yeah, sort of. The risk of that is it's only if you want a B2B and you think that scales. The problem with it is
A
it
grand,
requires dev work and you gotta like maintain it. And now you have a
a
demanding
grand,
client.
a grand seems actually quite low.
That's like the starting block, and then that's just where they will start. That's minimum, and it could scale if they're using a ton of data, right? So it could scale upwards, right? Up to six is kind of what they told me. If they're using it a boatload, and they are, they have, and they're 20 times bigger than me, is what our calc was. So that's good to know. Like they're 20 times more traffic than I am. If that makes
Okay,
any sense.
but even if you took a grand a month as a minimum, then you're, paying out in like like you basically bought the thing for like 4x revenue, which isn't like horrible.
So these are all sustainability routes. The really crazy routes are all okay. There's a few of them. One of them is trading fees, which could be really big. One of my competitors made 8 grand in one day last week in trading fees. And in my calc is they're actually smaller than me from a traffic perspective, but they have the features I don't. And they don't have my features; they have other features. But they actually have the ability to take trading fees, and that's the one that really scales. Like that's just straight off margin fees on every trade. And
Why don't you just do that?
yep, so that's one feature roadmap that you got to do, but you got to build it right. You got to do all the dev work, and what I've been trying to tackle is getting myself amped up to taking over this business and taking over the code base and being able to build that. And I gotta say, I'm not qualified alone to do that. I am, but probably with duct tape, you know. And I think I'd rather work with a team to get that. And the team's expensive. Devs are expensive. So um, that's the part of the roadmap. There's a whole other piece as well. Hey, I got a question for the audience. Do you guys know what Kanye did 2 weeks ago? Chris, you've been in cryptocurrency for what, a month now? You should know this.
I'm only into Bitcoin mining and now just dabbling into Ethereum.
Okay, well, Kanye dropped a meme coin like Trump did 8 months ago called Easy Money. Easy Money. YZY is the ticker in crypto speak. And his ticker is worth 600 million today in market cap. It peaked at $1 billion when he like last week or whatever. And that's the route. That's the IPO route of launching Web3 apps, and we could do that too.
Yeah, but
But
that's Kanye and you're not.
correct. So obviously 600 million is out of the question, but 300 grand to 2 million to 10 million isn't that hard. And remember that's market cap, and that's with meme coins, which are a whole different gamut than real stocks or real money. Because the liquidity calcs are way different, but there is something there. Like that is a route. So that's a possible route as well. The legality of it is way better now because of Trump, which I was trying to tell you earlier. I actually really stoked that Trump did this, and I don't think a lot of people don't know. By Trump breaking the rules in crypto by launching NFTs and meme coins, he actually like put himself in front of the sword to say, "Hey guys, I think it's okay to do this now," and then everybody else being like, "Okay, great, Trump's on the sword, we can do it too," and that actually opened the industry up a lot for us to experiment with these new kind of technologies and currencies. And I think I'm here for it. Yeah.
That's why I'm bullish on Ethereum actually, because
Tell us.
you I don't know. I'm really not an expert. I just listen to smart sounding people, but it sounds like okay, Ethereum you're going to make 3% just from staking. So already that's different from Bitcoin. If you have these Ethereum holding companies, you can just in theory always just pay a 3% dividend if you want because the chain itself gives you money for doing that. So you could easily just like raise money, hold Ethereum, and just immediately return a 3% yield. to your shareholders as a bare minimum, but of course you can do more than that. But I guess all the Ethereum bulls are just saying, okay, Wall Street's going to be like tokenizing all this shit, and likely that's going to happen on Ethereum.
Because it can't on
And
Bitcoin right
then,
now. Exactly.
and then, um, I'm not a big person on like technical analysis, but then like listening to the people that look at like the charts and stuff, basically it's like due for a breakout. So
Yeah.
there's a
I mean,
lot of indicators suggesting Ethereum should hit like 10K, let's say by the end of next year. I mean, it's low 44,000 right now, so you just get to like indirectly ride that train. So I bought Bitmine Immersion Technologies, BMNR, and they hold like 8 billion of Ethereum. Actually, I bought it last week and they were trading under net asset value. So I basically bought Ethereum at a 10% discount. I had to like triple check the math because of like,
I've seen it
wait,
before. Yep.
so isn't that free money? Like, why is the market missing that? I don't know.
So you got to remember the risk. Um, okay, so
That it goes down 10%?
no, no. Okay, so there's that calc too. Okay, so there's a saying in crypto, and you haven't been burned yet, I don't think. But uh, the saying goes, "Not my keys, not my wallet. Not my keys, not my crypto. Not my keys, not my crypto." And the reason why we say it so loudly is that if you're not in actual control of the keys of the crypto, there's hacking risk because this asset is very fluid that somebody could who has the keys can just steal it all. And yes, there is good protection these days, but it seems to keep still happening. It happens every 2 to 4 years where one gigantic player gets wrecked. And here's one of two reasons why they get wrecked. One, they get wrecked because an insider is just dirty and plays a
Mm.
Ponzi scheme with their money and doesn't tell everybody because they actually have control of it all, right? Um, Sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally, they make huge bets. That's an FTX situation, actually. We have Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, gambling people's money on like VC bets and donations and a whole bunch of
But it's,
shit.
did you hear this though? It's hilarious. His bets have actually paid off,
Totally,
so that
they've all paid
like
off. They've all
there's
paid off.
actually enough money for him to pay back everyone he stole from. And
Mm,
people are like, should he even be in jail? Or did he get pardoned actually? Did
He,
Trump
he, he,
pardon
he
him?
didn't get pardoned. He didn't get pardoned. That's just a rumor.
Oh.
No, no, didn't get
But
pardoned.
like they're just like he was like invested in like the A round of Anthropic, which is
Anthropic.
like paying
Anthropic's
off
worth
now.
huge. Okay, so okay, here's the flaw. Okay, yes.
Well, the flaw was he stole people's money to invest it, but he was actually
Um,
making good investments.
so this is a lie in some ways. Okay, the Canadian story of this. Okay, I'm going to go through history now. Fuck. The Canadian story of this is a company called Quadriga, which did the same thing. Okay. Um, and then another previous story that I wasn't part of was Mount Gox, which is way back in the day. Um,
I remember those.
but the problem is, as soon as the company goes into bankruptcy, the accountants and the lawyers ruin everything. And typically they ruin everything because first of all they have their claws in it, which sucks out the money. But secondly, what they typically do is they freeze all the assets into currency dollars because they don't trust crypto. And then the bankruptcy proceedings take somewhere between 5 and 10 years, and then you don't see the appreciation because you have to wait fucking average 7 years to get your money out.
But
So
but SBF actually didn't do it in crypto. He literally just stole crypto money and invested in real companies. So that's why
correct.
it's actually paid off.
Correct. So as long as those assets don't get frozen to previous numbers or get sold at discounts, and typically the accountants and lawyers do that in bankruptcy proceedings, they just lose all the upside and then make every wait 7 years because they have to uncover every ball of string of every transaction.
Totally.
And this is what happened with Quadriga. I lost 1 Bitcoin on Quadriga because I had 1 Bitcoin in my exchange account that I thought was safe. They went dirty and lost it, and Um, I got 1% of my money back. Sorry, I got 10% of my money back, but at 7 year ago Bitcoin rates. So I got wrecked. I got paid last year actually. So I'm mad about that. That I got paid at 10 grand Bitcoin rates, 10%. So it was trash. Make any
Right.
sense? So really, that's the one big rule about crypto is be cautious of that. And there's a okay. So the second reason why you they go down isn't because of an insider fucking up or doing a Ponzi. The second reason why they go down is because there's an actual hack that occurs. Because the keys exist, there's North Korean hackers and there's really smart hacking groups. And if they can social engineer their way in and somehow get access to your keys or spoof something, which has happened recently as well, um, they can take it as well. So
Hmm.
realize that that's one reason why you have risk on your ETF assets and your mining assets and some of these discount assets because of that factor. And I actually did the calc once, and I don't remember what I came up with, but I remember the calc was between 2 and 7% a year of negative risk from an ROI perspective. And I don't know what I concluded. I concluded somewhere between 2 and 7. And I couldn't conclude if it was, you know, it, I
Well,
just calculated the probability of, I thought about how many orgs are out there and how often are hacks occurring and how often are total wipeouts occurring. And if you calculate it out, there's not that many big orgs.
I would say that if people think that's true, it's not being reflected because most of the treasury companies are trading above net asset value. So that it's not being discounted for risk. They're actually being given a premium for holding large amounts of crypto. So
And this might be the case that the technology actually has improved where it's actually safe because either insurance, they've properly created insurance protocols to protect against these things, or two, it's multi-key security now. Like we've solved this problem somewhat where, people know how to not get hacked, one, because it's in cold storage, proper cold multi-signing storage. But man, I don't know. Just it happens. Just be wary of it, you know?
all good. Most of my Bitcoin investment is in Iron, and they sell what they mine every day. So they don't hold any of it. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. Probably, yeah, I've probably deployed 50 grand in the last month
Nice.
into crypto. So it's kind of where I want to be, I would say. Like, you know, single digit percentage of the portfolio, as you had previously suggested, but not actually owning any of the commodity outright. I actually think it's like gold rush, sell the sell the pickaxes, not the gold.
I get nice. I think that's very wise, and I don't. To be honest, I don't totally believe that my asset purchases is that wise in the grand scheme of investments. But there's so many intangibles here that I think make it worth it. One, because I got bot attack this week, because I have to learn this complicated thing that I don't understand. I'm just a better coder already. I just learned a whole bunch of back end coding because I had to because things started to break. I have
What are
customers
the
that care. They're just like, hey, there's problems
what
with
are
the
the
site.
what are the bots trying to do? Like, what are
Uh,
they
they just want my
going for?
data because it's easier to get it from me than it is to get it from the source. So they were just like, hey, let's ping this guy's site every 4 seconds and hit it, hammer it because we want all this data.
You just hire like CloudStrike to deal with a DDoS attack if that's what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
sounds like.
CloudStrike is one solution actually. I've used it in the past. Cloudflare actually is another one too. But it depends on just efficiencies, and I got to move things around actually. Like it creates some caching issues. I'm looking into it. It was really just me being lazy over the last 4 weeks of just not noticing how many bots were scraping. If I was just more attentive, I probably would have, solved it faster, right? So it's just the nature of the beast, and that's fine. It's about learning. I think that's one huge intangible that I think I'm glad about this project is I'm just learning, and I think that makes me more competent, qualified, and just better at doing bigger things.
That's cool. Yep. Well, you said you had a pretty good week. What else have you gone up to?
Did a little motorcycle ride this morning. Played some squash this week. Just getting fitness, man. Fitness matters so much. Oh God, gotta say, I think that's so important for your mental health. I think over the last month, I haven't. I think the whole summer I haven't kept up with my fitness
Mm.
intensity, and I think I don't have a great summer sport. I think that's my problem. I've been trying to get into tennis, but I just never found a league that wants to play 3 days a week. I didn't get into the rhythm of it.
Well, that'll be me when I get back there. I'll play with you 3 times a week.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
You know, we have a
But in the
saying.
meantime,
Go ahead. Yeah,
huh?
go ahead. Don't worry.
Um, obviously, I can't come back that quickly. Although, like, I would say my workplace is it's not fun, but it's so dynamic that it's like you like I'm definitely motivated to stay around just because for the story, you know what I mean? Like it's now gotten to the point where it's like the story is kind of good
Nice. Cool.
because it's like who else gets to like navigate this type of thing where you're doing what we're doing as a startup trying to punch way above our weight, you know? I mean, the energy game is a billions to trillions kind of industry, right? And we're still in the millions game. Like we're still in a tiny pond trying to make it into the big leagues. So that's actually been kind of cool. So even though I was like pretty stressed out 4 to 5 weeks ago, not to say that I'm not stressed, but it's like definitely it's like the next few months will be interesting enough that it will like keep me interested and like intellectually stimulated. You know what I mean? And I
Totally.
think there's some value to that.
Yeah.
So, um, but so in the meanwhile, though, uh, one nice thing is like, as I told you, I think people could tell that I was like getting stressed out, and I don't want to sound arrogant or anything, but I feel like I'm a pretty key player in the company now. So anyway, we uh, we got a the company to pay for a flat in Calgary so that it can be used. So I'm gonna try and come back to Calgary more, just like because honestly I'm happier there, and there's enough of like a business reason to like show my face around the head office. So I think it'll be a little bit of like a stopgap measure, just like keep quality of life as high as possible.
Nice.
So yeah,
Is that gonna? Do you know where it's gonna be yet, or do you know when it'll start?
I think it's gonna be in. I think it's gonna be in Park Central.
I don't know which one's Park. I don't know what Park Central is. Longtime Calgarian here. Park Central. I don't know what that is. Is it a building? Is it a
I guess
neighborhood?
you
Heart of downtown? I
don't
don't know.
live in the core anymore. So like I mean, no one goes to Bridgeland, so no one. I don't know where you live.
True.
It's Fifth Ave, or sorry, Fifth Street and 11th Ave.
Fifth
It's got
Street.
like a pool, gym, golf
Nice.
sim.
Can't know what that is. Yep. Nice. Um, I consider that Beltline for some reason, but that's not. I
It is
guess.
Beltline. Yeah, it's Beltline.
What did you call it? You called it Park.
Central's the name of the tower.
Oh, okay, okay, got it. Park Central. Oh, wait. I think I know who you are. Oh, wow. Um, our friend Jason lives around there. Is that the same tower? Um, is it right off of that Central Memorial Park? You're pretty close to it. It's 2 blocks off, right? Yeah, it's up there. Okay, never mind. He's off of that road somewhere, pretty close, 2 blocks away from you. That's awesome. Nice. That's great. So when's the first trip back to Calgary, you think?
I'm gonna try and be there in a month, I think, if I can. Haven't
Nice.
booked anything yet though.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
And then That'll probably be it. But then I think I'll come back for my 40th birthday. So
Yeah, you were talking about it. Ski trip planning, right?
it's just about full. I think I have a couple of spots left.
I will commit to you now to take one of those spots on the pod if
Did
it's
you
available.
already?
No, I didn't.
You can commit by paying me.
Oh, okay. I guess I can do that too. Nice.
But yeah, it
Yeah,
should be. It's a good group. I think it'll be pretty sweet.
nice. I'm in. That sounds great. Where are we going in? Golden? All right.
Yeah, kicking horse.
Kicking horse. Nice. That's great.
Yeah. Anything else I should do? I don't know. It's really funny, right? I feel like I've been thinking about this milestone so much. And when you think about it, man, it's only 4 months away. And now that it's sort of around the corner, like I kind of don't really want to make a big deal out of it, you know? I don't know. I don't know what the right way to think about it is,
Um,
or if I should think about it at all.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Some people like to celebrate their birthdays and some people don't. And some people, lean
I'm
on
more on
their,
the don't side, but isn't like 40 for me, like I think it's like when chicks turn 30 and 40, but for men, I think 40 really is the one. Or and maybe 50. Like if chicks have 30 and 40, I think men have 40 and 50.
interesting. Yeah, sometimes you have one key friend who's just a great party planner. And that's the person you lean on to like just do a great job of
Yeah.
planning everything. So some groups have that, some groups don't.
I'm usually
Um,
that friend. It sucks.
yeah, so that's the problem. So sometimes that's the requirement, and then sometimes it's just whether or not you really want to like dial it in as an important thing. Um, I have a
Exactly.
I have a different method of this because I'm a shy birthday kind of person. I don't really love to host my own birthday party or even like do anything for it. What I try to do is just I try to book a ski trip around my birthday. If it's 2 weeks prior or after, great. Um, I think what was I going to say? My method is different about like milestones. What I try to do every couple of years is I write like a 2 year goal checklist, and I just try to do those things, and that's my you know celebrating me
Oh,
getting older.
I have a running checklist, dynamic one. I call it my life rail, which is like rolling
Nice,
action item list. I'm just
nice life
constantly,
rail.
yeah.
So sometimes that's with birthdays, and like sometimes okay, some reason why I don't know, like your 40th, maybe you're supposed to go to like I don't know an island with all your friends, or like book a yacht or something. And maybe you're supposed to go bigger than a ski trip, right? I don't know. I don't. I think like if you're trying to get a bucket list item off, that maybe makes some sense to do it.
I don't think I am. I think I'm like, just like want to spend it with like a dozen inner circle and just have like a good weekend, you know? To be
Yeah,
honest, it's really not that much different than like a normal ski trip, but of course, I expect extra attention to be foisted upon me.
because you're 40. Yeah, I mean, it'll be a good time, I'm sure. I don't know if you're supposed to do anything. Wait, what could make it more special? Okay, well, is there some place in Golden that we have to book 6 months in advance or something that's like an awesome place? So
Well, then it's
I
already
was
too late.
shit, yeah, it's too late. But that reminds me, I want to book that Longview Steakhouse. That's been on my list. I heard it's like a
Bro, you
year
gotta book
out,
that a year out.
a year out. Yeah, a year out.
I went
Um,
last year and my friend booked it out for this. I
okay,
went there when I came back for Christmas last year and they were booking a year out into December, like in 3 months. So you're probably Q4 26 at this point.
okay, so let's make it Q1 27 when I turn 40. Uh,
Oh,
and
that's smart. That's actually smart.
you on the list? I will add you to the list if you're coming. Yeah, I'll book a table. That's what I'm gonna do. Actually, that's on my list.
Yo, that's actually sick, man. Yeah, that's a great restaurant. It's like the old school hospitality, great fucking food there. I mean, if they had more reservations, I mean, I would take like tourists there. It's such like classic Alberta hospitality. You're in like the rolling hills. The whole thing is on a hill. Like you just see the mountains. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
You know.
That sounds great.
All right.
Yeah.
I gotta
But
I want to change gears here quickly. Man, I had the idea. I've always had some idea of this, but it's like,
keep talking. I'm listening, but I'm just checking on Lair. Keep going.
would do you think that people would be interested in me writing like a newsletter maybe once a month and just like musing about the things that are like going through my brain? It's like sounds kind of cocky that like um I'm expecting people to want to know what I'm thinking, but I think people actually would be interested in like the research I'm doing or like the stocks I'm looking at. Like the fact that I went on this like giant Bitcoin mining deep dive, I could easily write like a 1 or 2 pager about that and like add it to a newsletter or like the books I've read. And then the other random rabbit hole I went into was like I was like thinking about my car and like how it's like one of those material things that you don't expect to hold value. Like everybody just assumes cars depreciate, but not all of them do. And then like that's actually true also for like luxury watches. And so I actually went on a rabbit hole of like figuring out which luxury watches held their value the best. And I just feel like a newsletter with random shit like that, just sort of like informing people on the things I'm thinking about, might be moderately interesting. And I would like model it after Tim Ferriss's like weekly 5 Bullet Friday. So I could either do like a weekly one or just do like a monthly one that basically like collects everything I've been doing for the month that might even be like potentially interesting for people.
Interesting. I think we've talked about this for a while about like doing this kind of thing, and the podcast does pieces of that. Um,
It doesn't get deep enough though, and it doesn't tell like a complete story because it
totally,
meanders.
totally
One plot twist. One plot twist. It's analog. I
analog.
send people I send people like a binder or a care package of the things I write out. So it's almost like a magazine.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot
Like
more.
bring them back.
Ooh, interesting. No, I think you're on the right track. I think that sounds great. Um, that sounds really cool. I think you gotta just you gotta start from a really easy place. I think, and like just start with an email to your friends and just try to make it consistent, and then watch it grow from there. Is what I've always learned. Um, yeah. Sorry, Chris. I only have a couple minutes. I have to take care of lyric here. So what I think that's a really I don't know. Would you start with an email list? Would you want to make it more substantial than that? Would you want to start with like everybody says use Substack right now?
I know. But you know what I might do? I might just write it all out, print it nice on like color paper, and there's mail my 10 inner circle a binder and like read it if you want.
Ooh, I mean, I really love
And
the
then
idea of making it physical. Just I'm worried that it's going to take you too long to do, and I just you know I just I want you to ship something faster, and I think that just
I
it's
thought,
hard to get
I
that right.
know. I know that's your style. I thought about that though, but I have a print shop hookup because of my
Ooh, you
site.
do have a print
I
shop
just have to
hookup.
send them the copy.
Ooh, that makes it way easier. That makes
And
it
they already
way
mail all
easier.
my draft kits for me, right? I'm just like, hey, can you make me 10 binders of this document, send them to these 10 people, and I'll pay you like 20 bucks, 20 bucks an address, right? To go. I just drop ship my own thing as a gift to my friends to be like, here's how shit's going. Here's a review of the books I just read. Here's the random shit I've researched that will surprise you because no one knows what I actually look into in my free time.
Totally.
So, okay, so you like
Interesting.
it.
Yep.
Maybe we should call the pod done now so you can look at your dog and then
Yep.
we can actually just have a short podcast. But I
I
think it
like
was
it.
still of high quality.
I think it was great. All right, buddy. I'll let you go. Bye.